Vanakkam, Prem Namaste, Namaskaram. Welcome to another action-packed Sadhana episode. On the program today, we touch on our creative side, first with Kavithasen Govender in Amzinto, and then with Anuradha in the kitchen. Later in the program, we indulge in more of Nima Patel's inspirational music and delve deep into chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita. During our recent travels down KwaZulu-Natal's south coast, we met Kavithasen Govender, who's made quite a sensation on social media with his coconut abode creation for Lord Ganesha. A mechanical engineer by profession, we learned of his fascination for building up model ships, cars and helicopters. His artistic abilities, however, are greatly influenced by his deep love for Hinduism. We visited Kavithasen at his Amzinto home recently to find out more.
When I was a toddler, I must have learned how to draw first before I could write. Our parents will usher us off to temple for Kavadi festivals and Purtasi festivals, Aman festivals. But at that time, you don't really have an understanding of what everything is. The only thing you can do is touch on your sensory perceptions. And for me, the visual aspect of it caught me, because I would look at deities, I would look at temple architecture, I would look at the vibrant colors, and I would look at the poses that the deities had. All of them touched me at that point because I really loved art. So that's where I created this connect. Strangely enough, through my school years and varsity, and when I just started work, I never put too much emphasis on my artistic abilities. It was always about studying, and it was always about getting good grades and being able to find a good job. I then realized that I was missing this big part of me. So it has been, I think it'll be like 3 or 4 years ago, where I started taking on small little projects and getting them done. And it gives me it gives my soul, my Atma, a bit of rest and peace. Okay, this is my pencil sketch of Lord Shiva and Nandi on the Himalaya mountains. This is my acrylic painting of a Bharatanatyam dancer. This is another acrylic painting of Lord Shiva and Parvati. The coconut apparently started off as a small mistake. Okay, we're preparing for our Murugan and Shivan prayer at home during the Thai Pusam Kavadi festival. And my brother, he was cleaning the coconut, but he took off all the fibers. Instead, he was supposed to keep a small tuft on top, which will make it perfect for prayer use. I've never seen a coconut like this that's so round. Because of the shape, I do not want it to go to waste. And that's when I decided that I want to create a small craft out of it. The artist in me knew that an engineering approach will not work, and the engineer in me knew that an artist approach will not work. So I looked at it at a stage-by-stage process. The first was to clean out the coconut. Thereafter, I had to figure out how I'm going to mount the Ganesha in, and that's when I realized that paper mache would do a good job because it'll be like a strong foundation. So I made paper mache, filled up the inside, and at that point, I looked and I placed the Ganesha in. I looked at inside, and that inner part of the coconut, which is initially white, was non-existent because I cleaned it out. So I wanted to bring that back in. The shaping process, I got a bit from my engineering knowledge. It's something called reverse engineering, where you want to copy a shape of something else. So I took masking tape and I lined up the inside of the coconut. And then I used a marker to cut out or mark out segments. And from the segments, I cut it out with a blade. I took off each piece of masking tape with this particular shape. I stuck it in the paper. On the other side, I stuck a piece of felt, and then I cut it out again. So in that way, I replicated the shape that was required. And like a puzzle, I had to put it back together, and that's how it was formed. But it still looked a bit bland. So I added in another platform, with a painted platform, sorry, and another feature around it to encase Ganesha in. Then I started molding out of modeling clay, items such as your apples, banana leaf, betel leaf, betel nut, a coin, dipakulsum, and so on. So I was assembling that, and then I realized this thing does not have stands to stand on. And I found a tortoise-shaped polystyrene, which was then wrapped with ribbon, and that made the base of the coconut. Ganesha and the coconut, I think as Hindus, we all know that when we do pray, our first focus in any prayer function is Ganesha himself. And the coconut, according to my beliefs, it resembles divinity and purity. Like a baby in a mother's womb, that baby is not exposed to the Maya and materialistic world that is outside. But as soon as the baby is born, when the mom breaks water, that baby is now exposed to everything else, and things start latching onto the baby. So when we bust a coconut, I think that's a reminder to every one of us that we are seeking to go back to that purity when we are not intoxicated by the rest of the world. When I'm doing artifacts such as these, I find myself in a very meditative state, very deep meditative state, which pulls me away from the rest of the world, and it pulls me away from the stresses of life. This took me 4 months to build, which is the Titanic model. The Black Hawk helicopter, that took me 4 weeks to build. And my prized possession, which is the Formula 1 car, took me 4 years to build. For most part of my life, I was painting with paints. Then I realized that you could paint with light also, and painting with light means photography. So that artistic part of me also pulled me towards that point. One day I attended a Bharatanatyam show in Tongat and took my camera along, took a few pictures, posted it on social media, and the guru, Burishka Patta, she saw my pictures and she was quite impressed, and she made me part of the team. And she also gave me the opportunity to tour with them on Sampurna Sadhana that went through the southern part of India, or mainly Tamil Nadu. The creative aspect, painting with light, I had the opportunity to do it in the motherland, and I'm really, really thankful for that. Not everybody is a good singer where they can use their vocal and musical talents in the name of God. Not everybody is a good dancer, so you won't see everybody doing Bharatanatyam at temples. Not everybody is a good cook, and you won't see them cooking prasadam at temples. But everybody has a unique talent or something they can bring to the world. Your soul is only completely satisfied when you look at every aspect of your life. And I think that's what Hinduism tries to teach us. Be a son, be a father, be a son-in-law. You're still the same person, but you fulfill different roles. In my case, if I use an example, I'm an engineer. I'm also very much involved in our temple activities here in Amzinto. But there's also this part of me that makes me me, and it's being an artist. And it recharges me spiritually every time I do that.